This week, we're going to check out Homebrew on the PS Vita. You're going to need a jailbroken system if you haven't jailbroken your Vita yet. I've got a video. I'll put a link up here in the corner, and also have links in the description. I did another video outside of jailbreaking the system where we set up RetroArch, where you can play a lot of your retro emulation, things like that, old school consoles. But if you need either of those, the links will be down in the comments. This week, we're diving into Homebrew. The Homebrew scene has really exploded as of late. There are people that are really working at taking more modern games and getting them to run on the limited hardware set of the PS Vita, and some really phenomenal things have come out of it. Today we're going to touch on the main piece of software I use, which is Vita DB Downloader. There are tons of others. There's a lot of other things out there that you can access, and I'll put a couple of really great informational links down in the description. But yeah, today we're going to use Vita Downloader. We're going to go through the setup of Vita Downloader and setting up and installing some Homebrew games. So there's some games that are natively playable right out of Vita Downloader, and then there's some more advanced games that you're going to need some extra files for. So I'll show you links for all that and how to set all that up, and then maybe we'll set up a game, pretty cool PS2 game, Bully, and get it running on here. And by the end, you'll see everything it takes to install, catalog, get everything going on here that you want. So let's jump in. If you followed along so far, one of my earlier steps in the jailbreak process was to install Vita DB Downloader. If you haven't, it's super simple. If you have Vita Deploy already set up, you can go down into App Downloader and Vita DB Downloader. You simply check this box and say download the selected apps. We don't need to do that on mine because I already have it installed. But if you don't, that'll get you right to where we're at here. Within Vita DB Downloader, here's your whole list of Homebrew games, apps, utilities. There's really all kinds of things. And at the top, there's a search bar. So we can go in here and let's look for a simple game. Let's look for Flappy Bird. Good old Flappy Bird. We'll go with Flappy Bird Vita. We hit X and it will go ahead and automatically go out and download and get all the files that we need to run this on our system. Once it's finished, we go back to the home screen and you'll see our new bubble with our game installed. No copying files, no setup, nothing like that. We jump right in and it's ready to go. So I want to show you what I mean when I say advanced Homebrew. I'm calling them advanced because they take a little more legwork for installation. And I'm going to show you an example of that so you know what I'm talking about. So today we're going to set up Bully. I actually had a comment in my last video that somebody was having trouble with Bully, so I figured it would be a great example we could walk through and get it done today. Now, when we go to set up Bully, it tells us in the description here that it is it's a port of an Android ARM, basically set up to run on this hardware. When we go to install it, it's going to pop up a warning and it's going to tell us, look, these certain prerequisites, these things you're going to need to have. And these are things that you're not going to be able to get through Vita DB Downloader, right? You're going to have to do those separately. It's going to take some legwork on your own. That's okay. I've got a link down in the description that'll take you to some of the ones that I've gone through and set up. But to be honest, there's a wealth of knowledge on Reddit, on other YouTube videos. There's a lot of different places out there to set up tons of different games. So I'm going to leave some of those links that I use. I've got a couple set up just to help out, but you know, if my links ever go down, or if there's ever a problem where there's updates and things like that, you can always rely on some of the other links in the description. Reddit for sure, they'll have the latest greatest. But you could go ahead and install this here. You could set up the installation through Vita DB downloader, and then you could copy all the files over, which is fine. That works. But the link that I have set up below will actually help you get everything done without using this. So we're going to back out of here, and we're going to do it kind of the way I have set up. All right, inside of Vita Shell, we're going to go ahead and start the link with our machine, with our PC. Then we're going to go to this page here. I'll have this link down below. It's going to have a couple of ones that I've gone through and set up. The one that you're going to need right away is the shaders file. This shaders file is basically needed for just about every port that you have. So we'll go ahead and walk through setting that up. Then we'll go ahead and download the fully files that we need and the README that's set up. This E drive is what comes up when we hook up our PS Vita. Now, something to remember is this E drive that's set up, we have that mapped to be our UX0 drive. So whenever we move files back and forth, if it's data files and things like that, we need them to go into this UX0/data folder here. This is one we also use with RetroArch, our ROMs, things like that. So actually, our ROMs are here. We didn't put them down into there, but RetroArch is set up in there. All right, and then we need the downloads we just got. This file here, like I said, is a shader file, and you're going to need this for, I'd say, 99% of the games that you set up and run. For now, I'm just going to put this right here on UX0. We're going to have to move it on the Vita to one of the other partitions that we don't have access to here, but we'll deal with that in just a second. Let's extract fully files here. All right, inside the bully files, we have bully. This folder is going to need to go into our data folder, and then this VPK is going to go onto just the base of the drive. I keep my VPKs in one folder so they're easy to keep up with and clean up. It doesn't really matter where it's set up. So I'm going to copy the VPK into here. And you know what? We'll go ahead and copy over just so we don't have to go back and forth. We'll go ahead and copy over the data files. Once everything's copied over, we can cancel out of our connection and move over to the Vita. We can finish everything else over there. Back on our Vita, the first thing that we need to do is go to where we initially transferred all those files. We need to take care of that shader file right here. So UX0, see up here in the left. Let me see if I can give you a better view of that. So we're in UX0, right? That data folder that's there, that's where we put the bully files. And if we scroll down to the bottom, you're gonna see this shader file that we copied over, highlighted there in green. We need to copy that out of here. We need to move it into a different directory. This actually needs to go on the UR0 drive in the data folder. So we're going to hit triangle. And remember, we have to do this on the Vita because we don't have access remotely from the PC through Vita Shell of anything outside of the UX0 drive. With it here, we're going to hit triangle. We're going to say move. And then we're going to hit circle. And this takes us to our root directory. And we can go to UR0 and data. And we can paste it in here. So we can hit triangle and paste. And there we go. It's all taken care of. You can see I already had mine in here, but this needs to be in here for, I'd say, the majority of the more advanced games, the more advanced homebrews that you're going to set up. This file needs to be here. It only needs to be here once. You don't have to recopy it every time. So once it's here, you're good to go. Now we're going to back out and we're going to go back into the UX0 directory. Get my focus working here. All right, so we're back into UX0 now. Now we can press through with the rest of our install. I'm going to go down to the directory of VPKs that I have, and I'm going to install the Bully VPK. Do I want to install this package? Yes. Now we can back out of here. We can close out of Vita Shell because the data folder should already be set up and good to go. And we can go down to Bully is now installed. We can run it. Now, when you start up Bully, as long as there's no errors here, which I don't think there should be, I think we got this down, but it's going to go to a black screen for a pretty impressive amount of time. And there it is finally. So the first time that you boot it up can take over 2 minutes. It's like 2.5 minutes. I think if you're sitting there and you run a timer and you see 5 minutes go by, it's too long, something's hung up. But give it the 5 minutes. The second time you start going into it, once everything's sort of built and set up, it will it only takes probably about 30 seconds. I would think under a minute from that point moving forward. But the animations are pretty good. The cutscenes are done really well. The gameplay, I haven't played much of it. I've played through a little bit of the introduction when you're walking around campus. I loved this game back in the day, man. It was such a good game. But it's actually done really well. The audio's good. Everything's really clean. As long as you followed all the steps correctly, you should be up and running. You should be able to play the game, save the game, enjoy the game. This same method it's pretty much the same for any Android-based Vita port. GTA, the GTA 10th anniversary, Max Payne, Bully, Warriors, there's a lot of them. So they all pretty much function the same way. If some of the things to look out for when you're surfing around looking for the different files to kind of follow through this process with other games is you want to make sure that things are in the right location. Most of the time it's that UX0 data folder, and then each game will kind of have its own folder that it can reference as you're playing. Then the other thing to look out for is capitalization. Make sure you don't go renaming folders or anything like that, because you don't want to break any of the links, because Android, like Linux, capitalization does matter. And that's it. That's how you install both simple homebrew and more advanced Android or PC ports using Vita DV Downloader. You can go from quick indie games to full-blown console ports all right here on your Vita. If this helped you out, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which ports or homebrew titles you'll be trying out next. You're going to find links in the description for all the resources I've used in this video, and a few extras I'm going to throw in there as well. If you have trouble with any of the links or getting any of the files, let me know in the comments. If you're just getting started with your Vita, remember, check out my jailbreaking setup guide first. It'll walk you through unlocking the system safely. And if you want to take it a little further, check out my RetroArch setup video where I show you how to get all your favorite classic consoles running perfectly. Thanks everyone for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next one.